Good morning, students. Today we shall study Lesson 6 of English Literature. Topic of the lesson is This is Jody's Fawn, and the author of this lesson is Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings. So, before starting the explanation and before starting the reading of the lesson, let's read what is given before you read to understand that what about the lesson is. Often, instead of rushing to the doctor to treat a small cut or burn, we find quick and effective cures using things available at home. Can you think of some such home remedies for a cut on your knee, a burn on your arm, a bee sting? So what happens often, instead of going to the doctor, we treat the small cut or burn at home only by using the home remedies. So we have to tell home remedies for the given things. If there is a cut on your knee, you will apply haldi on it to stop the bleeding. If there is a burn on your arm, so you can use the Colgate on it. And if a bee sting is there, so that time what can be done? You all have to think about it. In this story, Jody's father has been bitten by a rattlesnake. He quickly kills a doe and uses its heart and liver to draw out the poison. Jody wonders what will happen to the little fawn left without a mother. So in this lesson, what happens to Jody's father? His father has been bitten by a rattlesnake, and what he did, he quickly killed a doe and used its liver and heart to draw out the poison from his body. And after that, Jody wonders that what will happen to the little fawn who was left without a mother. So it is a belief that if the heart and liver of a doe is used on the body of a person who has been bitten by a snake, so the venom can be draw out from his body, and that's why Jody's father, whose name is Penny Baxter, did so. And what happens to the fawn? That about the story is, let's read. Jody allowed his thoughts to drift back to the fawn. He could not keep out of his mind. He had held it in his dreams, in his arms. He slipped from the table and went to his father's bedside. Penny lay at rest. His eyes were open and clear, but the pupils were still dark and dilated. So after the scene of the jungle, it was a scene at Jody's home, that Jody was thinking about the fawn only, that he was thinking to lifting him it in his arms, and everywhere he was thinking about the fawn only. And what he did, he went to his father's bedside, and where his father was resting still, because his father was still weak after the bite of the snake. His eyes were open and clear, but his pupils were still dark and dilated. Jody said, "How are you feeling, Pa?" "Just fine, son. Old Death has gone thieving elsewhere." "But wasn't it a close shave?" "I agree," Penny said. "I am proud of you, boy, the way you kept your head and did what was needed." Kept your head means stayed calm in a difficult situation, and the meaning of a close shave means a narrow escape. So when Jody has asked to his father that how are you feeling, Pa, his father said that it was a very narrow escape. He can be dead at that time. And Jody said that I agree. And after that, Penny Baxter said to Jody that I am proud of you. You stayed calm in a very difficult situation, and you did what was needed at that time. Pa: "Yes, son." "Pa, do you recollect the doe and the fawn?" "I can never forget them. The poor doe saved me, that's certain. Pa, the fawn may be out there yet. It might be hungry and very scared, I suppose too. Pa, I am a big boy now and don't need to drink milk. Why don't I go and see if I can find the fawn and bring it here and raise it?" Penny lay quiet, staring at the ceiling. "Boy, you have got me hemmed in." Hemmed in means caught in a situation where no one can say no to something. "It won't take much to raise it, Pa. It will soon start eating leaves and acorns. You are smarter than boys of your age. We took its mother and it wasn't to blame. Surely it seems ungrateful to leave it to starve. Son, I can't say no to you. I never thought I would live to see another day." So after that, Jody asked his father that, "Do you still remember about the Fawn and the doe, his father said that I can never forget them because the poor doe saved his life. And after that, Jody expressed his feeling that he wants to bring the fawn home and he wants to raise it. And his father said that you are mature than the other boys of your age, because Jody given an example that he does not need milk anymore and he can take care of the fawn at that time. So he was saying that thing to his father to bring the fawn home, and his father was also a very kind and gentle person. So he said that we should bring the fawn home because we have killed his mother and the fawn was still there. He may die due to hunger. So his father said that I was thinking that I would not live, I cannot see another day, and now you can bring the fawn home. Can I ride back with Millville and see if I can find it? Tell your ma I said you can go. He sidled back to the table and sat down. His mother was pouring coffee for everyone. So sidled back means walked back quietly. So Jody said to his father that can he go back with Millville to see that the fawn was still there or not. So Penny Baxter said to Jody that tell your ma that I have said that his father has said to go and find the fawn. He sidled back to the table. That means he walked back quietly to the table where his mother was pouring coffee in the cups for everyone. He said, Ma, Pa says I can go bring back the fawn. She held the coffee pot in mid-air. What fawn? The fawn belonging to the doe we killed. We used the doe's liver to draw out the poison and save Pa. She gasped, well, for pity's sake. So when Jody went to his mother, she was pouring coffee in the cups for everyone, and then Jody said that Ma, I want to bring the fawn home. So her mother was pouring coffee and the pot in her hand remained in the air. She said, what fawn? Then Jody told him that the fawn who belonged to the doe to whom we killed. And her mother said that, well, for pity's sake. Her mother showed the pity. Pa says it would be ungrateful to leave it to starve. Doc Wilson said, that's right, ma'am, nothing in the world comes quite free. The boy is right and his daddy is right. The boy is right, and his daddy is right. That is a contraction which is given here. Boy is daddy's. That means daddy is. So he said that Jody said to his mother that it would be very ungrateful if we will leave the fawn there to starve, to die due to hunger. And at that time there was another character, that is Dr. Wilson, and he said that it is correct, ma'am, nothing in the world ever comes quite free. That means we have to pay for everything. So if they have used the heart and liver of the doe to draw out the poison, that means they should take the responsibility of the fawn as well. So that's why Dr. Wilson said that the boy is right and his daddy is also right. Millvale said he can ride back with me. I will help him find it. She sat down the pot helplessly. Well, if you will give it your milk, we have got nothing else to feed it. Millville said that Jody can go with him and they both can find the fawn. After listening that, Jody's mother said helplessly that they do not have anything to feed the fawn. If Jody wants to bring the fawn home, so he has to give his own milk, the milk of his share, to the fawn. Millville said, come on boy, we have got to get riding. Ma Baxter asked anxiously, you will not be gone long. Jody said, I'll be back before dinner for sure. Millville mounted his horse and pulled Jody up behind him. He said to Millville, do you think the fawn is still there? The fawn is still there. Will you help me find him? So after listening that, Millville said that, come on boy, and they both were riding to the horse Ma Baxter, because the name of the father of Jody was Penny Baxter. So here Ma Baxter is used for his mother. So Jody's mother said anxiously that you should not be late and come earlier. Jody said, I'll come before the dinner for sure. And then they both went to bring the fawn from the jungle. Jody asked Millville, do you think the fawn is still there and will you help me to find him? We'll find him if he is alive. How you know it's a he? The spots were all in a line on a doe. Fawn passes, the spots are every which way. So Millville replied that we will find him if the fawn is alive. Then Millville asked Jody, how do you know that the fawn is he? Then Jody told him that the spots were all in a line on the body of the fawn. That's why he knows that it is a he, because on the body of his mother, on the body of Fawn's mother, the spots were everywhere, means they were not in a line, and that's why he is able to know that the fawn is a male. Now let's see the second part of this lesson, that is Jody gave himself over to thoughts of the fawn. They passed the abundant clearing. So in the jungle also Jody was thinking about the fawn only. He said, cut to the north, Millville. It was up here that Pa got bitten by the snake and killed the doe, and I saw the fawn. So Jody has given instructions to Millville that cut to the north, and he told him that it was the place only where his pa got bitten by the snake and where his father has killed the doe and where Jody has seen the fawn. Suddenly Jody was unwilling to have Millville with him. If the fawn was dead or could not be found, he could not have his disappointment seen, and if the fawn was there, the meeting would be so lovely and so secret that he could not endure to share it. And suddenly what happened to Jody? He was thinking that Millville should not be with him because first of all, two things were there. He was thinking if the fawn was dead and if he could not find the fawn, if he could not find the fawn, so he did not want that his disappointment should be seen by any other person. And the second reason was that if the fawn was alive and when he will meet the fawn, he wants to keep that meeting so secret that he does not want to share it with Millville. But I am afraid to leave you, boy. Sorry, he said, it's not far now, but the scrub is very thick for a horse. I can make it on foot. So after thinking that, Jody said that it is not far now and I can walk. I can go by walking only. But I am afraid to leave you, boy. Suppose you got lost or got bitten by the snake too. I'll take care. It might take a long time to find the fawn. If he is wandered, leave me off right here. So when Jody said to Millville that he wants to go by walking only, Millville said that I am afraid I cannot leave you like this. Maybe you will also got bitten by the snake too. So Jody said that I will take care myself. Leave me here only. All right, but you take it easy now. You know north here and east. Then Millville said that all right, tell me about the directions. Where is north and where is east? There and there the tall pine makes a bearing. Makes a bearing means acts as a compass and helps to identify directions. So Jody said that the pine tree is helping me to find the directions, and that's why Jody has told Millville that where are the directions. So long, Millville, I'm obliged. So Jody expressed his obligation towards Millville. He waited for the sound of the hoofs to end, then cut to the right. The scrub was still. Only his own crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken his direction. So when Millville left, Jody was waiting that the sound of the hoofs, that means the sound of the legs of the horse should be ended, and then he cut to the right. He was still passing the jungle and he cannot listen anything else. Only he was listening the crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. That means he was listening the twig, means you can say the branches of the trees. Because of the air, anyone can listen the voice of that only. And Jody was also thinking at the time that he can also forget the directions. Then a buzzard rose in front of him and flapped into the air. Buzzard means a large bird like the vulture that eats the flesh of dead animals. Then what happened? The buzzard rose in front of Jody and flapped into the air. He came into the clearing under the oaks. Buzzards sat in a circle around the carcass of the doe, because it was the place where doe was killed, and the buzzards were eating the flesh of the doe, and they were sitting in a circle. They turned their hats on their long scrawny necks and hissed at him. When the buzzards saw Jody, they turned their hats on their long scrawny necks and they were hissing at Jody. He threw his bow at them and they flew into an adjacent tree. Bow means the branch of a tree which he was having in his hand. So Jody has thrown that on the buzzards and they flew into the adjacent tree. Adjacent means the tree which was near to them. The sand showered large cat prints, but the big cats killed fresh and they had left the door to the carrion birds. So when Jody saw the sand, he can see the footprints of large cats, but he knows that the large and big cats does not eat the dead animals. They killed the animals and then they eat. So what they have done, the large and big cats have left the dough for the carrion birds. He parted the grass at the place where he had seen the fawn, so he had pushed the grass into side where he has seen the fawn. It did not seem possible that it was only yesterday. The fawn was not there, and at that time Jody was not able to see the fawn. He circled the clearing. There was no sound, no sign. The buzzards clacked their wings, impatient to return to their business. He returned to the spot where the fawn had emerged and dropped on all fours, studying the sand for the small hoof prints. The night's rain had washed away all tracks except those of cat and buzzards. So he was not able to see the fawn at that place. Jody was not able to see the fawn at that place, and the buzzards were waiting impatiently to come back to the carcass of the doe to eat the flesh. And Jody was studying everything. He was watching the footprints on the sand, and because of the rain of the last night, he was not able to see the prints except the footprints of the big cats. So it was the first part of this lesson which I have explained you. The remaining lesson I will explain you in the second part of the video. So keep watching and keep learning.